Students at war with teachers, teachers at war with parents. But there's one man who has powerful strategies for engagement. Conversations that are real. Engaging. Giving you tips for revolutionizing school culture. Culture Conversations with Coach Carlos.
Hey, welcome. Hey, this is Coach Carlos, and I am glad that you have joined me. We're going to have some fun today. Now, I want to go through some housekeeping things real quick. First of all, I cannot do this without thanking the Lord for allowing me to even breathe on this day. I don't know about you, but I didn't come here by the Big Bang Theory. I didn't come here by a mistake. There was something bigger than me, something better than me that sent me here for a purpose. And I feel like I'm on that road to fulfilling that. So I've got to give thanks from whom all my blessings flow. So I want to thank my Heavenly Father, first of all, and I want to thank you all for being here. Every Sunday at Live at 5, we're going to be here talking to some of the best and the baddest folk in the industry about school culture, particularly in the space of teacher-student relationships, teacher-student engagement. I'm going to be scanning the globe to bring you the best information possible about how to take these strategies right back into the classroom. Now, I got a surprise for you today. I mean, it ain't gonna just be me. I got a bad boy with me today. So I'm gonna bring him in a little bit later on as I just give you some things on how this show is gonna go. But I got a special guest for you today. So you might want to call some folk. You might want to text some people. You might want to open the front door and holler out on the porch and say, tune in to Culture Conversations, because Coach Carlos has got a boy on there y'all gonna want to see. But I'm happy on this day. I'm elated on this day. But let me get through some of the housekeeping things. Let me slow down. Let me calm down a little bit. I'm only going to be here 30 minutes, only 30 minutes of your time every Sunday. I think we can give you enough good information for 30 minutes. So I'm just going to jump right into it. First thing I need you to do is just 3 quick things I want you to consider. First of all, subscribe. If you feel like this is some great content or you want to continuously get this great content, make sure you subscribe. It's real simple to do. Go over to YouTube, not to watch TV, not to search for cartoons, but go to YouTube, and I want you to go into the search bar, and I want you to put in the Coach Carlos, but then make sure you filter it and say channel, because if not, it'll just be looking for the Coach Carlos words. But filter it and look for the Coach Carlos and then channel, so it'll go right to the channel. Then subscribe. Now, what that does for you is every time we put some hot information up there, you'll get alerted that we're coming on. Make sure you click that bell, because you'll get that also. The second thing is, once you subscribe, is we're about giving, right? And give, and it shall be given unto you. Those of you all who go to church like I do and believe like I do, you've heard that before. Give, and it shall be given unto you. And if you don't go to church like I do, believe like I do, you understand the concept of sowing and reaping, or reaping and sowing. You give and it gives back to you. The universe operates that way. So I'm going to ask you, once you sign up, once you subscribe, to share the information, share it on your Facebook page, share it on YouTube, or share wherever you can. Now, it should be on Facebook, but if not, you will be going straight to YouTube. The other thing I want you to do is, once you subscribe, you share the information. Just like it. Now, the like, I'll be honest with you, that's a vanity metric for me. No more. I'm sure that YouTube and Facebook likes, they do something with the likes, but I'm talking into a screen. So, but it's nice to see likes. I mean, hey, everybody wants to know that what they're delivering is valuable to somebody. So again, those 3 easy things is subscribe, share, and like. Do that for us real quick today or any day. And once again, if you've just tuned in or you've already been here, you're going to hear me say it again. You are with Coach Carlos today on the Culture Conversation Show. And today we're going to be talking about tips. We're going to be giving you some ready, proven, research-based tips to take back to your classroom. This is the crazy year of COVID, and we have no clue what's going to happen in the fall. Zero clue. I've been in superintendent's meetings. I've been in principal meetings. I've been in all types of meetings where everyone's trying to figure out the best way. And as soon as they figure out a good way, then comes up the states have increased numbers with COVID. So we were moving COVID down. It was stabilizing. It was plateauing, as the governor of New York has made famous. But then it shot back up, particularly our friends in Florida, North Carolina, Texas, in the South, the West. It's shooting up. So we have no clue what school is going to look like in the fall. That's basically what I'm trying to get to. Now, why is that important? Because if we continue to be in this abnormal scenario, never before in the history of education have we had to educate kids like this on a mass scale. Homeschooling, okay. Online schooling, okay. But this is mass online educating. And when we go back in the fall, we're not sure if we're going to continue online. Is there going to be a hybrid model of online learning? What's going to happen? But one thing we do know for sure is that now that we've got a taste of online learning, it's not going away, baby. Online learning is here to stay. The hybrid model is here to stay. We're not getting rid of it. So if we were struggling, and we were, as a whole, as a group, we were struggling with engaging all students. Now, I always say when I'm doing my trainings, we all engage, but we don't engage all students. We all engage, yes, we do, but we don't engage all kids. If we weren't doing that when we were in the traditional brick and mortar sense, if we weren't doing that very successfully then, and now we're in a COVID scenario, now we're in a scenario where, and I've got people emailing me and texting me, so you all excuse me, let me put this on vibrate for a second. If we're doing that very well then, now that we're off in an online world, engagement is going to be premium. We've got to know how to reach through a computer screen and pull a kid's heart into the lesson. We were struggling with doing that in the classroom. They were sitting 5 feet from us, 3 feet from us, and we weren't reaching into their hearts and pulling them in. And now they're at home. Come on now. Come on, talk to me. You gotta know we need some new skills. We need some new strategies that we didn't get in school. We need to learn from some of the best. We need to learn from what the research says in psychology. We need to understand human development, child psychology. We need to learn how people learn, not just what they learn, but we need to learn how they learn. And my guest tonight is not new to this game. Not only is he not new to this game, but he's good at this game. Before we jump into this and I bring him in, I want to read to you a poem that will be appearing in my book that'll be coming out in the fall, but it's one of my favorite poems. It was a poem that the Lord gave me and inspired me to write after I had left a district that was really struggling with getting their kids in. They were dealing with a lot of suspensions. They were dealing with a lot of school fighting. They were dealing with losing quality staff. And I had done 2 days of PD with them. And upon going to the airport and flying back, I get a good time to reflect. And I wrote this poem for my book. And I just want to read it to you. If you like it, great. But it motivates me. And I hope it touches you. The poem is called Sound the Alarm. Sound the alarm. If the school is the place where teachers and students are supposed to always be safe, Somebody better sound the alarm because the school is under attack. Sound the alarm because Michelle is in the 3rd grade and she can't read. Sound the alarm because Michael learned he has ADD before he learned to ADD. Sound the alarm because one school receives $8,000 per child and another receives $14,000 per child, but the learning expectations are the same for both. Sound the alarm because too many children can't pass a school or drug test. Sound the alarm, 12 million children live in poverty. Sound the alarm because far too many students, their addresses determine their success. Sound the alarm because our sons have turned underwear into outerwear. Sound the alarm because the school to prison pipeline has taken our sons from the classroom to the courtroom. Sound the alarm because our daughters go too quickly from dressing Barbie to burping babies. Sound the alarm because there was a time when parents would say, no, because I said so. And that's the end of discussion. Now young people say, I hate you. And that's the end of discussion. Sound the alarm because there was a time when teachers and parents were united from the time the kids got on the bus. Now for many schools, it's them versus us. Sound the alarm because it's wartime in education. And woe be it to the school leader, the teacher, or the parent who acts the same way in wartime as they do in peacetime. Sound the alarm, and woe be it to any of us who act the same way in wartime as we do in peacetime. I hope you all enjoy that. But right now, it's time to bring on the guest for today, who I pray blesses you the way this brother blesses me whenever he's in my presence. Now, you're not going to believe who I went and got for you today. I know that it's NBA season and folks should be resting, and you probably think little of me, but I got pulled, and you're about to see how much I have. Today I have for you none other than the king. Yes, Lybraun James. Hey, hey.
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
How you doing, Lybraun? You all right, sir?
Oh, man, doing fantastic, my man.
Hey, now, before anybody think that you all think I fooled you, what's your name, sir?
Yes, my man. I'm trying to get this, I think you unmute me from the thing. I can't hear you right now.
You can't hear me? I got you, you're unmuted. You're unmuted. Can you hear me?
Okay, I think I got you now.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, my man.
I wanted to say something real quick because I think people thought I was pulling their legs. What's your name, sir?
Okay, one second. Hold on, my man. For some reason, I can see your lips, man, but I can't hear your voice right now.
I don't know. So the Gremlins got us, boy. Cleveland must have come back and got you. Well, if you are, if you could hear me, this is Lybraun James, the expert on. Can you hear that, brother?
Yes. 1 second.
All right, he's going to go out and come back in. But that is Lybraun James. But I wanted to bring him on tonight specifically because he is an expert in student-teacher engagement. Really important field right now. And before he comes back on, one of the things that you'll hear me talk about quite often, you'll also, if I ever come to your school and I have the opportunity to work with your team, work with your staff, you'll hear me say this, as I've already said once before, and that is we all engage, but we don't all engage all kids. And because our engagement is not school-wide, we have kids left out of the learning process. So if I had a diagram behind me, what I do in my training is I put children in the middle of the circle and I draw two circles around them. A circle here, and then a wider circle. That inner circle are those kids who come to your school who are intrinsically motivated. These are kids who are in everyone's school, who doesn't matter if it's gang infected, it doesn't matter whether it's drug infected, it doesn't matter what type of culture is in that school. There are kids who can get inside a culture and survive, and not only survive, they can thrive. Those intrinsically motivated kids who find a way. Then you have those kids in that outer circle who are there. They're there every day. But the culture and the systems of the school fit that child's personality and learning style. Or they've been lucky or blessed enough to get a teacher who fits their learning style, who connects with them. So you have those intrinsically motivated students, and you have those students who that school is the perfect fit for them. The leader, the teacher, their peers, for whatever reason, and you may have been one of those students where you went to the best school for you. That school was the right fit for you. But you have that outer circle. And when I come into schools, those are the kids that I'm representing, that I'm fighting for. Not that I don't care about the rest of the kids, but there's a phrase that John F. Kennedy used to have, and he used to say, he would say that a rising tide lifts all boats. So what happens is that outer kid, the lost kid, the disengaged kid, is who I come into schools helping, wanting to help. Because if I can help schools, districts reach those children, when those children engage, that rising tide will lift all students. Now, I'm not sure what school you would be at, what school you're in, or there's always kids that will fit in one of those three categories. Kids who, regardless of what goes on, they find a way to strive and survive. Then you have kids who are in that outer circle who the school just fits them, or they found a way of fitting in the right support group, the right activity, or they have the right teacher that fits them. But that other kid is the one we all should be concerned about. The one who has not found a champion in the classroom, who has not found a champion administrator, and who does not fit into the student culture. How do we engage them? Well, I'm a proponent of Archimedes talks about, give me a lever and a fulcrum where I can place it and I can move the world. That being said, the best way to start is to find a small change, a tweak within your school system. Not overhauling the system, but a small tweak that changes everything. Going into districts and helping them find those levers is what I'm all about. Oh, and I think LeBron's here is trying to get back on. Give me 1 second. Let me get him into get him back into the studio. All right, let me let him back in, see if he can get back in. But so we've only got a couple more minutes. Hopefully he can join us back on here. So getting back to this engagement. So the engagement is key. I want to, if he doesn't join us, what I want to leave you with on this first part is I want you to consider what we've all learned in education. I want you to consider what the psychologist Abraham Maslow told us. He taught us about that pyramid, and he gives us 5 levels in that pyramid. I condense them down to 3, just for easy explanation and easy digestion. And if you agree with me on this pyramid, then you'll see how important engagement is. Abraham Maslow introduced the hierarchy of needs. And at that bottom, that foundational lever, that foundational rung, if you will, before you could go up in that hierarchy of needs, there was the physiological needs that a person must have. It's not Maslow's hierarchy of wants. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What he theorized, and what we know to be true, is that there is a level of needs that must be met in order for humans to elevate themselves to the highest level, and that is performance, what I call it, right? So physiological needs, that's food, shelter, safety. Humans need that. Children need that. Without the food, shelter, and safety, getting to the next level, you can forget it. The next level is the psychological needs. That is that need where they feel like they're cared for, that someone in this space cares for me, is interested in me, that they belong. So you've got level number one, the physiological needs, and then you have level number two, those psychological needs, and then level number three, that self-fulfillment level, as Abraham Maslow theorized, and that is what I call the performance level. Well, the bottom line is, if a child hasn't eaten, has been sleeping on the street, it's real hard for them to get to this level. And it's certainly real hard for them to get to the performance level. Typically, well, of course, we're not responsible for down here, but we're responsible for this level, and that's where engagement comes in at. That level where kids need to feel like they're in a place where they're safe, that in a place where they belong, and that someone cares for them there. If a child doesn't feel that they belong or someone cares for them, oh, you can cancel Christmas on performance. You're not going to get them to performance. That's not going to happen if they're not in a place where they feel like they belong. If they're being bullied, now everybody loves to talk about bullying, but what we often forget, and rightfully so, we should talk about bullying, don't get me wrong, that's the student culture. But what we've got to equally be thinking about and considering is the teacher-student relationship, whether that's a healthy relationship, because that's where a student feels like, okay, I'm good here. Whatever happened at home, I got my meal. I slept last night, may not have been at the Four Seasons, may not have been the best place, but I at least have a place to stay. I came to school and had breakfast. Now I'm in the classroom. Am I safe here? Am I wanted here? Does the person in charge here feel like I can, that I belong here? If that student can get that feeling, then you can get them to the next level, and that's performance. But they can't climb to performance if they can't get their needs met here. And that's where engagement comes in. In the upcoming Sunday sessions of Culture Conversations, that's what we're going to focus on. Performance-based, engagement-driven cultures. The next couple of Sundays, I'm going to show you, as long as bring on scholars here that will give you proven tips on how to create a performance-based, engagement-driven culture. First in the classroom, then school-wide. Because if kids don't feel like they belong there, like they're wanted there, you can throw performance out the window. I love to say that we have to Maslow. We've got to Maslow first. If we can't do that, don't talk about learning. You have to understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, I'm not saying we got to feed them, we got to shelter them. No, that's too much. Teachers are carrying too much already. But once they step on your doorstep, once they step into your classroom, engagement is us. Engagement is us. Making them feel like, oh, you got here today. Oh, you're in the right place, baby. You are in the right place today. And you're loved here. You're safe here. And you're going to be successful here. Real simple. Not always easy, but real simple. Now, again, before we close this out, those three things. Go to the channel. Number one, go to YouTube. Subscribe. The Coach Carlos channel. Subscribe. Then give, and it shall be given unto you. Share. Then lastly, for my vanity matrix, just click like. Subscribe, share, and like. You got to do those things. Let's get this information. Make sure you tune in next week. The tips one by one. Bring your pad and pen. Today was just the intro. Psychology, procedures, practices. We're going through those three steps. The psychology of engagement, the procedure of it, then the practice of it. This is Coach Carlos.
Go to powerengage.net and request your school's free demo so you can revolutionize your school culture. Because student engagement is the one thing that changes everything. Culture Conversations with Coach Carlos, Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, subscribe, and share. Sponsored by Power Engage.